are proud to present tonight Horry Georgetown Technical College with two of our favorite individuals. We actually sang your praises earlier today, Joe and Michelle. We love working with you guys, and thank you so much for the partnership. They're from Horry Georgetown College, and they're going to tell us all about Horry Georgetown, what programs they offer, how to get in, and answer all of your questions that you may have. You're welcome to put your questions in the chat feature. Either Michelle or Joe will answer them, and then we'll also take questions at the end. And just want to say thank you so much for joining us for our virtual college open house series. And without further ado, Joe and Michelle, thank you.
Well, thank you for having us. My name is Joe Covey. I am the recruitment coordinator here at Horry Georgetown Tech College, and Michelle is also joining us. We loved this event last fall, and we were excited to do it again. Michelle's going to be jumping in here and there and answering the chat, so feel free to ask some questions. But without further ado, I'm going to get started, and we're going to get started with a little video. So I hope the sound works. Let's see. There we go.
Welcome to Horry Georgetown Technical College. For nearly 60 years, HGTC has been the heartbeat of Horry and Georgetown counties, providing a premier, comprehensive two-year collegiate and workforce education experience for building pathways to success. From associate degrees to diplomas and certificates, HGTC has over 80 programs of study to cater to your academic and workforce development needs for those eager to jump into a career or transfer seamlessly to pursue a bachelor's degree. With conveniently located campuses in Conway, Grand Strand at Market Common, and Georgetown, plus many online options, HGTC brings education closer to you and offers flexibility that suits any lifestyle. Established in 1966, HGTC has grown to become the fourth largest technical college in the South Carolina Technical College system. At HGTC, we believe in making education accessible. That's why we're one of the most affordable colleges in the state. And who better to encourage you along your educational journey than our friendly mascot, Chomp. Join us at Horry Georgetown Technical College, where dreams become reality and success is a journey we take together. Visit our website and enroll today.
All right, well, that video is super informative. I wasn't planning on showing that, but it kind of gives you a really good overview of like a little bit of everything I'm going to talk about in this presentation. So starting off, who is Horry Georgetown Tech College? Well, we are your local two-year technical college. We have over 80 programs, including associate degrees, diplomas, and certificates. So students can seek a program that provides quick entry into the workforce or a program to transfer to a senior institution. We do have 3 campuses, like the video mentioned, one in Conway, one in Myrtle Beach, and one in Georgetown. And we also have over 20 fully online program options for those who prefer online learning versus being in person. But if you're going to go in person, we have a student to teacher ratio of 20:1. We are the 4th largest tech school in the state of South Carolina. The most recent numbers in the fall show us very close to being the number 3rd, being the number 3. I guess 3rd largest tech school in South Carolina, but we got a little bit ways to go. So we do also have a separate part of the college for workforce development. Those are mainly your quick training programs for those who don't want to pursue an academic program and want some just quick training and get right to work. I would say our most popular avenue for that is our 4-week CDL training program, where you get a Class A license and then you can be, professional truck driver. Just this past fall, the numbers showed that we have approximately 9,000 students annually, and we have over 2,000 in our workforce development courses. We have one of the lowest tuitions of all colleges in South Carolina, and due to the SC Wins scholarship that is provided by the state, a lot of people from Horry and Georgetown County even go to college completely free. because of that $5,000 scholarship that happens to be right around with our what our tuition is. So we are able to kind of advertise that zero tuition and low cost college options. So next, couple student demographics. We have a wide range of students here, ranging from 14 to 81 years old. Our average age is 25. 65% female, 35% male, 39% are minorities. 76% of students are residents of Horry and Georgetown counties, and 90% remain in the area after they graduate. 91% either go on to a job after or transfer to a four-year institution. So that's a pretty high placement rate straight out of Horry Georgetown Tech. Wide range of people coming from all different places, 128 international students, 42 different countries. Pretty popular place to go. Currently, 8,909 students enrolled. I already mentioned that. And almost just shy of 2,000 dual enrollment students. So those are those students that are currently taking college credit classes while they're still in high school. Just another glimpse at our campuses. Beautiful campus in Conway. Beautiful campus in Myrtle Beach. Mainly popular for our health science programs and for our Culinary Institute. And another beautiful campus in Georgetown. I want to discuss a couple of the major areas of interest at Horry Georgetown Tech. Now, just because we have certain programs does not mean that they're located on each one of our campuses. So that is a common question we get. Like I just referenced, on our Grand Strand campus, our main areas of focus are health science and our pretty well-known International Culinary Institute of Myrtle Beach. I would say we're also pretty well known for advanced manufacturing technology. Those are programs like welding, automotive, diesel technology, boat building, outboard marine, becoming an electrician, things like that. But we also have your general associate in arts and sciences and business, tons of computer technology options, criminal justice, dental sciences, education. I mean, you guys can read them off the screen. I don't have to spend a whole lot of time on those, but these are pretty much the overarching areas for all of our over 80 programs. If you choose to go on to a four-year institution afterwards, we do have over 35 transfer agreements with colleges and universities throughout the U.S. We are a very transferable college, so a lot of our credits should apply to, a variety of different colleges. Most popular avenues are from Tech to Coastal Carolina. Obviously, they're located very close to us, right across the street. A lot with USC, a lot with Clemson, a lot with College of Charleston. Columbia College is a good partner of ours as well, and Lander University. I would say those are the main transferable colleges straight from Horry Georgetown Tech. We do understand that people want that bachelor's and that they want to continue on after Horry Georgetown Tech. So we have a couple built-in educational pathways. For example, our pre-business pathway, our pre-law pathway, our pre-psychology pathway. We understand people want to be mental health counselors or pursue that MBA or go on to law school. So we created these pathways to make it easier on our students to basically with their course selection to identify what classes they need to take and which are going to transfer to our, partner four-year institutions. A couple of associate in science pathways already built in, as you can see on the screen, for engineering, for marine, for pre-med, if you want to go on to become a doctor, even pre-veterinarian nursing pathway, which seems to be pretty popular these days. I get a lot of questions about caring for animals as well. We do have a couple exciting campus updates. If you guys have never been to campus before, I would highly suggest taking a tour in your spare time and check out our facilities in person. But because of the popularity of certain programs, we do have a couple campus updates and a couple expansions that I want to mention. Our automotive technology program previously was just those first two bay doors that you see on the right side of the screen. We're going to double the size of the program. Currently, we have around 17 or 18 students in that program. Well, this would allow us to take 35, hire another professor, and have additional space for storage. This program specifically continues to gain traction and interest. Had a very long wait list last fall, so we're trying to expand, and that is already underway so that this coming fall, fall 2026, we should be able to take double the students. So very excited about that. Our Institute of Cosmetology renovation is also done. We just did the ribbon cutting on that 2 weeks ago. So we have a state-of-the-art salon, and the ladies in the cosmetology program are very excited about that. So it's going to be a salon open to the public, so that the students can get their internship hours done on campus, get all their hours in their, in the 1-year program, so that they can get their license. So they're actively providing services to people from the community. Our existing space for cosmetology is also fully active, but that's kind of going to be perceived as more of a training center for the students where they can practice on each other, practice on their hair, skin, and nails, skills before they get to the new salon where they're practicing and providing services for people with from the community. Also a very, very popular program, but the expansion will allow us to take more students. So we're also very excited about that. Our Nursing and Health Sciences Institute is open. It's been open since fall, but this little slideshow that Michelle put together kind of gives you an inside look without really having to go there to tour, but I still would suggest going to see it in person. It's really beautiful. The college invested a lot of money into our health science and nursing programs this past year. The hopes are that we'll be able to go from around 300 to 400 nursing students to taking 600 nursing students. Now, I know that's a big undertaking, but the need for nurses in this area continues to grow, and Horry Georgetown Tech wanted to respond to that by giving our students top-of-the-line technology and a beautiful space to practice their skills. There's several levels of nursing, and we can go through that if anyone has any specific questions about that. But they all have access to our new Nursing and Health Sciences Institute, as well as our EMS students and our paramedic students who also are in that building practicing their skills. A very cool building. If you are interested in health science, I would highly suggest checking that out in person. How am I doing on time? Good. Now this is also well underway. This is located on the Georgetown campus. This is our Marine Technology Institute of South Carolina. About a couple of years ago, the state really expressed the need for people to go into the fields of outboard marine technology and boat building in response to how, much of an interest there are for those fields in the state. Our president decided that we wanted to be the ones to kind of lead the way in these areas. So this building is going to be just about 25,000 square feet down in Georgetown, and it's going to house our two boat programs, outboard marine technology and boat building. The interest for those two programs also continues to grow. Obviously, you have to love boats to want to be doing that as a career. But we will have a state-of-the-art facility that I would imagine would attract people statewide to go into this this program specifically. Boat building is a 1-year program, and outboard is also a 1-year program. Okay. Now you guys saw a little bit about, all of our expansions and the programs that we have, but we also have very, very quality student support services as well. If there is a need for disability or accommodation services, we have a complete department for that is able to meet with you and discuss your accommodation and discuss your needs and kind of get you situated and make sure that you're successful while you're in college. We also have counseling services. If you are in need of mental health counseling or just someone to talk to, we are able to provide those services as a college as well. Career services. I get asked this question a lot about job placement. We have a complete department that their entire job is to maintain those relationships with our community partners and employers so that there should be no question on if you're going to get a job out of Horry Georgetown Tech College. So they're constantly putting on career fairs, helping you with resume building, helping you with your interview skills, kind of wraparound services to ensure that you leave Horry Georgetown Tech confidently that you're going to find a job. So they're pretty easily accessible in this building as well. And they're always willing to help you and kind of discuss options after graduation. On all three campuses, we do have a student success and tutoring center. It's a free service that you can do online or in person. And I always say to pretty much everyone I tour, you don't have to be struggling in a program area to seek tutoring. A lot of our classes can be challenging. This is college. So there is a free service that is available to you to even if you want to get that B to an A, utilize that free service. It is a quality service. We have over 40 tutors if you combine all three campuses. So they can tutor in things like any math class, any science class, any social science class, health science. Even if you don't like public speaking, they can kind of work on tips for that as well. And a writing center too, where you can submit papers to them for them to critique. We have libraries on all three campuses. They're pretty up to date and have all the resources you would possibly need. A food pantry also on all three campuses. Excuse me. In case you are in need of any kind of supplies or resources. And we do take pride in the fact that we are very involved with veterans and military resources as well. So if you had any questions about that, we definitely know who to talk to about that. This is a slide that takes forever. Okay. Applying to HGTC is kind of easy, if I'm being honest. Going to our website and creating an account, the first step is to just create a general application. In addition to, just figuring it out yourself, there are resources like Michelle and I who are pretty often in the schools and helping people with those processes. Also, we have a on-site location for each one of our campuses called Tech Central that pretty much what they do is help people who, get stuck in certain areas of the application process. But the first step is to create an account and then choose your area, major. Then you got to submit your transcripts. Those are, obtained from your school and sent to our admissions team. The part that I guess most people really get hung up on is the financial aid process. But we were talking about that right before this presentation started about these college goal nights and these FAFSA nights. There are resources for people who are struggling with the FAFSA, which is not the easiest document to complete. But there are people available to turn to if you have questions about the financial aid process. At Horry Georgetown Tech, meeting with an academic advisor is a crucial part of the process. The reason I say that is because some of the ins and outs of course selection can be a little challenging. And also, a lot of our popular programs fill up very quickly. I always say this in my presentations. I do often hear that Horry Georgetown Tech might be viewed as like a backup plan. But for programs like our advanced manufacturing programs, our ultrasound, our x-ray, our surge tech, our nursing programs, our culinary institute, some of our programs that are extremely popular fill up very fast. Meeting with an academic advisor earlier than later kind of helps you move along in the process to ensure that you get one of those coveted spots. and we're right around the corner from registration. Today's March 4th. We're about 1 month away from registration for fall 2026. So if there are any questions or you're still wondering about applying or walking through the process, we're here for you. And I would encourage you to kind of get the ball rolling if you're still wondering about fall 2026. Set up a payment plan is step 5, but honestly, the main goal should be going to Horry Georgetown Tech for free, or very, very low cost. There are plenty of financial aid options between the Life Scholarship, the SC Wins Scholarship. If you meet federal guidelines for financial aid, there are plenty of things available that the hopes are that you should not have to set up a payment plan and that your books should be covered, your supplies should be covered. That is kind of one of the huge benefits of going to your local tech school, is that it's extremely affordable, if not free. Every student is required to attend an orientation session, which is done online. It's not super challenging or anything, but you have to kind of go through that process as well. This graphic makes it look super simple, but you might get hung up in certain spots. But lean on the people who know what they're doing, the admissions team, the recruiters, the people who are working in our tech centrals on site, and they do this all day, every day, and they can answer any one of your questions. So there should be no reason why you procrastinate or kind of give up halfway through. Reach out to people. We are here for you. And that's really it. We're definitely open to talk about specific situations after this presentation. If you don't feel like asking a question in the chat, I don't know, I can't see the chat right now, but if you don't feel like asking a question in the chat or unmuting, our contact information is right there. Please write that down and reach out to us privately if you have any questions. But thanks for letting me share. I always love this event. Michelle does too. We get excited to talk about Horry Georgetown Tech and all the great things we got going on here. But 30 minutes is impossible to go over everything that we love about this place. So feel free to reach out. We can schedule a tour, answer any questions you might have, and make it more individualized. But thank you.
All right, so I do see a question in the chat that you filled out the FAFSA, but you spelled your name incorrectly. I would suggest contacting. You should have a contact for FAFSA, unless they have changed that. Generally, there is a section on there that says contact us. Usually all they need is some kind of documentation that will prove you are who you say you are. Usually that's like your social security number, your birth certificate, but that's usually one of the frequently asked questions that will be in that contact section. But you just basically just need to submit documentation and they'll fix it.
I was going to echo the same thing Michelle said. Yeah, you should just be able to reach out to studentaid.gov and they should be able to assist you. I see some other individuals. This was great, Joe. Thank you so much. You and Michelle are always a pleasure to hear and to, I mean, we love Horry Georgetown. You guys do so much. So, all right. So another question is when do the tours happen if I were to come?
So we do weekday tours every Tuesday and Thursdays. You will get to have kind of a personal experience with a student navigator. Get it? Because we're the Gators, navigator. Anyway, so they will be able to provide you not only information about the campus, about your programs of interest, but giving you that personal side as well of their perspective of what they're going through as a current student. Again, we do those on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 p.m. If you are not able to make that, like Joe said, just contact one of us and we can try to work something out for you. It's not uncommon that we give individualized tours specifically to people who are not able to make it for the regular weekday tour. If I'm graduating in high school. Okay, sorry, I was reading it. If graduating high school in 2027, when should we apply for January 2027 semester with HGTC? So that actually is a question that has a couple of different answers. So the thing is, when you're graduating high school early, a lot of times there's a little bit of a rush that takes place because, again, we're a non-traditional school. So our start term of spring might be a little close when it comes to applying for the spring semester. It also depends on which program you're trying to get into. Some programs only have a fall start. So for instance, people who are interested in advanced manufacturing, 9 times out of 10, that's only going to start in the fall. And also some programs have restrictions. So again, with advanced manufacturing, the state of South Carolina requires that you are 18 years of age. So if you're graduating early and you're still 17, let's say your birthday's in March, I would suggest graduating early is not a bad thing. However, with things such as dual enrollment, tech scholars, and honestly, just joining clubs and other things like that, there's more ways to make yourself, what's the word I'm looking for, more academically pleasing to the eye, if that, for lack of a better words. So if you're graduating early, and it's kind of stressing you, I would take your time. Take your time and enjoy that senior year, enjoy prom, enjoy spring break, your senior trip, and all that different kind of stuff, without having to freak out about starting college in the spring. For larger programs like dental and occupational therapy, do they have more than one start date a year? Again, that is something that is in the works as of right now. If I'm not mistaken, Joe, correct me if I'm wrong, both of those programs are starting in the fall.
So that's a correct statement. But both of those programs require prerequisites.
Mm-hmm.
So you can kind of offset, like if you hadn't done your prerequisites yet, you can start on a, different semester and attack those first. But the actual dental and occupational therapy programs have a fall start. So in other words, you have to have everything completed prerequisite wise and requirement wise well prior to that fall semester in order to get into one of those programs. And no, I didn't really talk about it too much in the presentation, but certain programs are considered limited access, which means not everyone gets in. So they do consider college GPA test scores while you're here, placement test scores, extracurriculars like volunteer opportunities and stuff like that. So for certain, probably like 6 to 8 of our health science programs, those are considered limited access, which is a crucial, I kind of mentioned this at the end, a crucial step for those programs would be meeting with your advisor to kind of discuss your plan. So that you know exactly when to apply, what classes you need to take, and the likelihood of you obtaining one of those limited access spots as well. And then I'll answer Aubrey as well. Am I able to go there for just my gen ed classes? 40% of our students, of our 9,000 students, are doing just that. Because of our transfer agreements, like I mentioned during the presentation, a lot of people use this for the affordability factor and our transferable factor to come here, do a year or two of gen eds, and then transfer to a 4-year institution to get that bachelor's. You're really going to save yourself a ton of money doing it that way. So yeah, it's kind of a no-brainer to, if you want to earn a bachelor's, start at a tech school, hopefully us, and then go on to a 4-year institution like Coastal or Columbia, College Charleston, Lander, plenty with transfer agreements.
Yeah. So for Connor, welding is going to be provided at the Conway campus and the Georgetown campus. Anna, if you're wanting to start for fall 2027, I love that you are ahead of the game. However, we are not there just yet. So you will want to wait until about August of this year, and that is when we are going to have that application open. Usually I say the first day of your senior year, it'll be up and running, and that is honestly the best time to do it. Jennifer, if my son does graduate in 2027, is there a downside to him pushing off his classes until the fall start of 2027? There's not a downside. The only thing I would suggest is just taking into consideration what it is that he wants to do. So if he's wanting to enroll into a program or into a career field such as he doesn't want to be the dental hygienist. He wants to be the dentist, meaning that he wants to be a doctor. There is a lot of time that goes into that education process. So if that's what he's wanting to do, then I would say, you know, maybe, yeah, if you're graduating early, let's start looking at some gen ed courses. However, I do run into students sometimes who have done everything they needed to do, sorry. They have successfully come into for the spring semester, and it is just a whirlwind of information. A giant shift change, especially not even just with what classes and schoolwork look like. I had a student the other day tell me 8 a.m. in high school and 8 a.m. in college are two totally different things. And they are. I also think that for you as a parent, it's a bit much as well. Usually during that senior year, I feel your guidance counselors, us as recruiters, we kind of walk with you through that process. Whereas when you're rushing for spring, there's a lot of information that's going to be thrown your way, and you might miss the meaning of certain words like FERPA, and you know, different meetings for this, that, and the third. The language of higher education is a beast in itself. So I always suggest, if you're able and if you're willing, then take your time through that senior year. Again, when those information sessions pop up, things like this happen, I think it's a great time to start having those conversations about, if I want to graduate early, what can I do? Because sometimes we do have students that graduate early, they want to jump right into their gen eds, but then they're so overwhelmed with what that feels like. And they're also overwhelmed because they didn't get that break in between that some students get, whether it be the summer semester. So again, not a downside. I would just see what it is your son wants to do, and then talking with them about the options of what he wants to take. Is physical therapy. Physical therapy is a limited access program. Physical therapy, occupational therapy, diagnostic medical sonography, which is ultrasound tech, radiologic technologies, which is x-ray tech, nursing, surgical technologies, dental hygiene, also dental assisting.
I think you got them all.
One. Did I get all of them?
I think you might have got them all.
EMT, that is one as well.
I don't know if
EMT, paramedic.
Yeah, I don't that might be true. I didn't know that one.
I sent an email the other day, and Anna's phone number is up there. So.
Yep. I see more people typing.
Yeah, I see people typing.
Can I interject for 1 second? I just want to know how, for those of you that are still on the call, how did you find out about the virtual college open house? Do you mind sharing that with me? Thank you. And also, I want to, Joe and Michelle, would you like to mention the Pell Grant and how that's going to change for 26, 27? Yeah.
I don't.
Go ahead.
Michelle, did you freeze? I thought you froze. We don't know a ton about financial aid, if I'm being honest with you. So I don't think we would be the ones to talk on Pell Grant or financial aid, if I'm being honest.
So I'm no financial aid expert myself, but I would like to share with those individuals that are still on the call that Pell Grant is changing for the 26-27 school year. And how it's changing is that the certifications that Joe and Michelle mentioned that are amazing, and you guys have so many there at Horry Georgetown. Those certification programs, as long as they're accredited by your local technical school or community college, those will be covered under Pell Grant now. Whereas before this time, they were not covered. And so only 2-year degrees were covered and classes were covered. But those certification programs that you were talking about, such as cosmetology, such as the automobile, automotive, yes. Those will be covered. Welding is covered. So those things are covered. So make sure that when you guys complete your FAFSA and then speak to your financial aid rep, that you inquire about that part. So Pell Grant will now cover certification programs as long as they're accredited through your local tech school. So I think that's a very good thing to mention here, since we do have a lot of individuals on the call that are inquiring about those programs.
Oh, That's great
Yeah,
to hear.
that is a great thing to mention,
Mhm.
especially if you're wanting to do something a bit specific that might require more than one certification. Like, for instance, I know worldwide, but specifically in this area, there is a need for marine diesel mechanics. And that's not something that we're getting a lot of, but you can actually do our 1 year diesel engine program and our 1 year outboard marine program, combine that and be exactly what that is. I know that in this area, they're starting anywhere, what did Kale say, 65 an hour or so
Mhm.
for those types of mechanics. And I mean, that's less than a 4 year degree, and that's more money than I've ever seen. So
Yeah. Yeah, there
It
are.
really is a lucrative salaries when you talk about welding and the
Mhm.
marine mechanics and things like that. It's just something that it's great salary, and great experience. We want to thank everyone. Michelle and Joe's information is there. Alanis just put that in the chat for you guys. Want to let you know that we really appreciate you guys being on this call. If you ever need anything, you're welcome to reach out to myself or Alanis or Michelle and Joe. We just want to say thank you so much. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it was informative for you. And again, Joe and Michelle, we're going to be calling on you in the fall as well. So I know that's y'all's busy time, but yeah, before then, actually, just to get you on the schedule. So we enjoy you guys so much. So we certainly do appreciate you, again, the partnership and you being here. So thank you.